Greetings everyone, Jonathan Bailey here from plagiarismtoday.com, and today I want to talk about something a little bit different. I know usually with these videos I like to talk about plagiarism and copyright stuff. Imagine that, you know, I only talk about copyright and plagiarism on my other sites. But today I wanted to talk a little bit about Google+. And this ties in a lot to the South by Southwest stuff I've been talking about earlier, and we'll get to that in just a second. But as most of you know, I am a Google+ user, somewhat at least. I do post these videos and other links to Google+. But, you know, using it, I've begun to notice, like a lot of people, that it's just not as active as Facebook and Twitter, for example. It seems to have the user base, but not necessarily the content. And this is despite having followed a lot of so-called the Google+ active and the Google+ celebrities that are supposed to make my feed look really, really full. So while I was at South by, I decided to run an experiment of sorts. And the experiment went like this. When you meet someone at a conference, you know, you say, "Hi, my name is so-and-so, this is what I do," then what do they do, then you go back and forth. And then there's a moment where it just gets dead, and if you don't have a way to pick up the conversation, it's over. You know, you're going to exchange business cards and, you know, never see each other again. Well, I decided to take advantage of that moment and say, well, while I got you here, I got two questions for you. They're both yes and no questions. Shouldn't take any of your time. And the first question is, do you have a Google+ account? And I did this to about 20, 25 people, somewhere in that range. It was a good number, but I didn't keep exact notes. I was just trying to get a general feel of things. Across the board, every single one of them emphatically said, yes, I have a Google+ account. No question there. And in hindsight, that was kind of a stupid question. We all have Google accounts. Whether it's for Gmail, YouTube, Google Knoll, whatever. We all have Google+ accounts. We all use it. So it's not a shock that every single one of them had a Google+ account. So the second question was the more important one. And that was, are you actively using it? 20+ people across the board, every one of them said no. And that's a problem, to put it modestly, because this is, like I said, this is South by Southwest Interactive. This is the very heart of tech culture. And everyone said no. Now, a few people waffled, a few people wavered, and said, oh yeah, I post to it, I post links to it, yada yada yada. But I pushed it a little bit, said, oh well, do you use it as much as Facebook, or using it as much as Twitter? And the answer always came back, you know, it's sort of a second-tier social network. So I'm counting that as a no. If you're not using it as a primary or one of your primary social networks, you might as well not be using it. You might as well not even be there. And frankly, that's kind of how I'm using it. So that has me worried. And I've had to reach the conclusion in the past few weeks that Google+ is doomed. It's on the slope to doom now. And it's not necessarily this issue that bugs me, because the fact is Google+ does have millions and millions of accounts, and if it were just a matter of these accounts not being active and doing cool things, that could be solved, because that's like a lot of, you know, potential energy stored up there. That's the water behind the dam, just waiting for Google to do something awesome or solve some problem or do something cool with Google+ that just breaks it loose and sends the water careening down the mountain. So, I mean, the potential energy's there, but right now there's a real vacuum of content on there, and it's not just idle complaining on my part. I have made a great effort to follow people who are active on Google+, and to follow Google+ celebrities, and it still doesn't anywhere near compete with the activity on my Facebook feed or my Twitter stream. But the real reason I think Google+ may be doomed is simple. Is over the past few weeks, I haven't checked the exact numbers. I've been kind of scared to, but I've gotten at least 100, possibly 150 to 200 new people adding me to the circles. They might have pulled me back out again. It might be an in and out thing. But long story short, hundreds of people, over 100 people, have followed me on Google+. And when that sounds like yay moment, there's a real problem because they're spammers. Now, they may not be spammers in the sense I don't believe this is automated. I don't believe this is something where they got bots doing it. But these are people who are going around. Many of them are following like 3, 4, 5,000 people. And they've only got 30 people following them back. They're just following everyone they can and hoping it works. Hoping they get an audience. And you know, it's very scuzzy, and it reminds me a lot of what was going on Twitter like a few years ago. And, you know, I guess Facebook probably also had some of this to a degree, but it not quite as severe. And this spam problem has gotten well out of hand, in my view. I don't know if other people are experiencing it. I don't know if I got on some list, but I'm seeing it in a pretty big way. And that worries me because that is the exact pattern that Google Null had, KNOL for those who don't remember it. Google Null, for those who don't, like I said, don't recall, was Google's Wikipedia killer. It was supposed to be their product that would like be Wikipedia but written by experts rather than lay people. It was a cool idea. But unfortunately it went absolutely jack nowhere. I mean, it got put up to a huge fanfare. Everyone was interested in it. And basically, you know, it had a few weeks of fervent activity. People stopped being excited about it. They stopped going, and then there was this huge content vacuum there. And it sort of sat for a while, and then the spammers kind of moved in, and then Google was eventually forced to just kind of shut it down and walk away with its tail between its legs. And this is what happens when Google tries to enter a market held by another company. It can't compete with Wikipedia. It can't compete with Facebook by simply doing another Wikipedia or another Facebook with a twist. It doesn't work that way. Google is not in the business of solving problems, and not even really in the business of trying to do something better than Facebook or Wikipedia did. They're more in the business of just trying to do, you know, their version of it and bully, you know, the other guys out of it. Hopefully they'll use their size and search and their presence to kick them out. And that hasn't happened. It has never worked. Every time Google has tried to use its raw size to beat a competitor, it has failed. You know, the only time, Gmail, I think, was the last truly successful Google launch, and that required a truly revolutionary webmail product. Null didn't work. Google Wave was very revolutionary, but it didn't solve a new problem. It didn't really, I think it might have been too far ahead of its time. Null did not offer anything Wikipedia didn't have, and Google Plus doesn't really offer anything Facebook doesn't have. And my problem is this, you know, my friends are not all techies. I'm going to go where my friends are. I'm going to follow my friends. It's my social network. My friends are on Facebook. I may not like Facebook. I may think Google Plus is prettier, has better features, but if it doesn't have my friends, it doesn't have me. I mean, it's really that simple. It's a chicken and egg problem, I admit it. But now that the spammers are moving in, unless Google addresses this issue immediately and severely, I don't see it ever gaining traction, because who the hell, especially in a non-tech circle, is going to want to sign up for another social network just to be bombarded with all these spammy follows and likes? It's not in the best interest of anyone. So if Google wants to save Google Plus, they've got to get a handle on the spam problem that's going on. They have got to find a way to encourage all these inactive accounts to suddenly get very, very active. And it's obvious their attempts at connecting it with search haven't worked. And basically they've got to find a way to appeal to the non-tech crowd. If they can't do those three things soon, Google Plus is doomed. And I frankly don't see Google doing all three of them. They might be able to get one or two pieces of the puzzle, but I don't think they're going to get all of it. Well, on that note, I'm running over today. Sorry about that, guys, but I will see you guys tomorrow. Oh, Monday, actually. Today's Friday. I will see you guys Monday.